I'm moving on to next week. Let's see what's gonna happen. Oh. On Monday morning, I find a folded note with my name on it slipped under the door. It's from Professor Growner, requesting that I meet him after class. Requesting, so I'm probably not in trouble. Yet. If I don't show up, that might change. Well, anyway, what should I do this week? Well, I'll take his class so I can actually meet him after class. We'll do red until the end and do some gym, I think, and then we'll study on the weekend with Minnie. Oh, lightning. Ooh. A blast of energy strikes the nearest large target in a chosen direction. Do-do-do-do. I miss this music. After class, I seek out Professor Grabner. Ah, Miss Cutie. As treasurer, you are responsible for managing the freshman class tribute. Tribute, sir? The payments American wizards make to the tribal councils for the use of their land. Oh. Petunia, in her wisdom, does not consider it necessary for first-year students to cover magical history. That's probably because... yeah, definitely that. She enjoys watching people look confused. Indeed. You may find that much of what that woman does is an act designed for similar purposes. Now, for the Thanksgiving tribute. The funds come through two sources. Ticket sales from the fall play, and candle sales at the shopping center, where the school rents a kiosk. The purpose is to obtain money from the outsiders, the non-magical, given willingly. Candles? Colored and scented to provide festive cheer. Each class produces their own design. How well it sells will depend on your skills. Try not to embarrass yourself. Right. What should I suggest, then? How about tea lights? Orange tea lights, why not? And pumpkin, yes! It's like almost Thanksgiving, so I think that would be appropriate. I think we should do orange pumpkin scented tea lights. Very well. The candles will be produced over the next 3 weeks and sold on the 23rd. You will likely be expected to perform a sales shift that day. Unless you manage to get yourself into detention. I'll try to avoid that, sir. Heh. Oh, you tease. Hope my candles sell well. They did last time. But I don't know if you have to do a specific kind of candle only. I guess I'll find out this weekend. Oh, so I can't study with Minnie this weekend, I just realized. Darn. I missed out on a study. Whoops. I didn't think that one through. Okay. Right, I saved our room for last this morning. I hand Ellen her letter when I return. Oh, it's from my family. Ellen carefully works her finger under the sealed envelope flap, opening it with a minimum of tearing, then unfolds the letter and begins to read. What? She drops back onto her bed with a thud and stares at the paper in her hands. What is it? It's nothing, just a change of plans. Apparently, I'm not going home for Thanksgiving. What? Because it's a long way for such a short break, so it's better for me to stay here. Is that what you want? That doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't. It's not my decision. I can't go home on my own. They don't want me there. Well, we want you here, don't we, Cutie? Yeah. Come on, we should all do something together today. Righty. Right to you. Okay. You don't have to do that. I'm fine, really. You're fine about not going home? What, do you hate your parents or something? Virginia! I don't hate them. They just don't want me. Mama's probably glad to be rid of me.
What about your dad?
He's not around. I lived with my mama and Justin, my stepfather.
Your father left you?
Not exactly. She left him with us because Jenny's my half-sister. Justin's her dad. My father was angry. I don't remember a lot of what happened. Then we moved and eventually he stopped writing. Mama says I look like him.
I'm sure they want to have you home. It's 800 miles. You're going home for Christmas though, right?
As far as I know.
Is it okay for people to stay here over the holidays? Yeah, there's always someone staying. Some people don't want to have to go back to being non-magical. Hey, if you want, you could come to our house for the break.
Really?
Sure, we're used to having people stay over. I mean, I have to ask, but I'm sure it'll be alright. Unless you don't want to because of, my brother.
Oh, I'd rather be there than here all alone.
Okay, I'll write Mom and Dad. Now let's go do something. Let's go outside. I want some fresh air.
Okay.
Fresh air. We go for a walk and eventually a run, which occasionally turns into a chase. I'm still the fastest. We have a good time, but tire ourselves out a bit. I'm gonna have to sleep next week. Diary. Candles. The school sells candles at a booth at the mall to raise funds. Each class sells a different style, and it's my job to pick one for the freshmen. I decided on orange pumpkin tea lights. Doesn't it sound delightful? Holiday recovery. Ellen got a letter from home saying that she has to stay at school for Thanksgiving. She thinks her mother and stepfather don't like her very much. Virginia and I hung out with her to cheer her up, and Virginia says maybe Ellen can come home with her for the holiday. Yay! And they'll have a very good time. Flyers up in the halls have informed us that there will be a special assembly for all freshmen this Thursday. No class activities can be scheduled for that day. What should I do this week? Probably sleep. I should definitely study this week. Maybe I'll skip gym. Sure. Let's do that. Oh. Ellen is in the room, systematically taking clothes out of her dresser, then putting them back in. What are you doing?
Folding my clothes.
Yes, but why are you unfolding them first?
Because they aren't folded properly.
Okay. I guess everybody has their quirks.
OCD.
Oh.
There you are. I've been looking for you. Is everything on course for the fundraiser? You've got it set?
As far as I know.
Great. Here's the papers on the booth location and schedules. Do you mind which time you work?
Not really.
Only I'm supposed to be somewhere else after the last shift, and I know it might run over, so... yeah. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
When two people are going out, is it normal for them to spend all their time together? Not with anyone else?
Yeah, I'll just say I don't know this time. I don't know what's normal, really. I don't know a lot about dating.
Oh. Well, thanks for your help. I'll talk to you later.
Glad I could be of service, Minnie. You'll figure it out, girl. Neither Keo nor Jacob are good for you, but I somehow like Keo more than Jacob. Don't ask me why. On Thursday morning, all the freshmen are gathered together in the gym. Good morning, my bright young things! Today is a special occasion for all of you. You're going to get to practice what you've learned and try out some spells on each other, without the presence of a test or grades. This is an important lesson because in future exams you may come up against other spellcasters. You need to know how to use magic in combat and how to avoid magic being used on you. Will everyone please team up in twos? There's some jostling and shuffling around. Ellen and Virginia pair off, and I end up standing by Virginia's brother Donald. Please pay attention before we begin. I want you to take turns casting spells at each other and blocking them. This is not a battle, and you're not trying to defeat each other. Think of it like a game of catch. One of you is the pitcher, and one of you is the catcher. You can only pitch when it's your turn, so defenders must only defend and not attack. Also, please don't interfere with any other pairs. That includes casting spells that tend to be messy. No fireballs or ice storms, please. Target only your partner. I will be on hand to deal with any injuries and accidents. If you hurt yourself, please call for help. I'll be right there. Have fun! Fun? I turn to face my partner. Ladies first. I'm not sure what to cast. I've never done this before. You can do a push spell, right? Sure, that's easy. Alright then, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. I start to cast the spell, but suddenly a wave of cold sweeps over my body and I can't move. The spell fizzles uncast. Ha! I wasn't sure that would work. It'll wear off in a minute. As he said, I unfreeze shortly, but my fingertips are still tingling and sore. Alright, it's my turn now. Are you ready? I suppose. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. There's a little jolt, and I feel a sting like a tiny electric shock. Ow! Hey, how come this worked when you cast it, but not when I did it? It still worked, but apparently it only sometimes stops spells. We work together for a while, trading spells back and forth. Then Donald holds up his hands and leans in close to whisper something. I've got a great idea. When I say go, you drop to the floor and cover your eyes. I'm going to cast something over your head. Okay. Go! Honk you, I duck and cover. There's a whooshing noise and a burst of heat overhead, followed by screams? Donald! What are you doing? Ooh, you're in trouble. While your flaming dragon was very impressive. Aw, I missed the fire dragon? I did specifically tell you to avoid large spells. If poor Cutie hadn't managed to get out of the way, you would have hurt her badly. Like he cares. This is very disappointing. You've always been so careful in your creativity. Why would you take such a risk? Oh, I'm kind of tempted to defend him this time round, but... Oh, I'm doing your route next, man. I'll see you then. I knew what I was doing. Well, maybe you did, but it's still a bad example for the other students, don't you think? I'm sure you know that there will be a detention for this. Of course. I'll also have to give you 10 demerits. Yeah, well... Try to be good now. Jacob, put Mr. Arias down! She hurries off to deal with someone else. Luckily, there are no major accidents for the rest of the session. Oh dear. Jacob, stop picking on poor Manuel. I think Manuel is Mr. Arias. I think. Alright. I did study this week. Let's go to the mall. I'll go to the food court. See if I run into Virginia. Stress decrease? Nope. Didn't run into her. Maybe I won't run into her ever again. I should check on that, maybe. Diary. Folding at home. I found Ellen in our room, unfolding and refolding her laundry. I'm not sure why. Minnie's question. I don't know Minnie that well, even if we are in student government together. She's got something on her mind. Somebody she knows is spending too much time with her boyfriend or something, but I don't really know what. Show off. Donald insisted on pulling a flashy trick during the dueling practice and ended up getting detention. And I didn't defend him this time. Next time. Next time, man. I'll be there for you.
Cutie?
Yes?
Do you like theater? Plays?
I don't know. Why?
Well, the drama club is doing Medea this week, and I kind of want to see it, but I don't want to go by myself.
What's Medea?
It's a classic Greek tragedy. It's about a witch whose lover betrays her, and the terrible things she does for revenge.
That doesn't sound very nice.
That's why it's a tragedy. They're doing it Friday and Saturday night, and I was thinking I'd rather go Friday.
Is it free?
No, it's $5 for students. So, do you want to come?
I would, Ellen, but I'm kind of saving up for that ridiculous wand. Not this time. I don't think that's really my kind of thing. Sorry.
Okay.
She takes it so well. I better figure out what I am doing this week. I forget when I'm doing that fundraiser now. I'll study, do red, and gym. Done. Clever. Oh man, I haven't got one in a long time. I'm getting ready for dinner when someone knocks on the door. Hey! Hi guys, what's up? Wanna earn some easy merits? Doing what? Oh, I can't remember what I did for Luke's voice.
Butching and baking and candlestick making.
Butching? That's not the right word.
It could be. She's a horse.
You ever been kicked by one? What did you want me to do again? You already said. Are you in or not? Candlestick making? I'm kind of interested. Sure, let's go. Fine, lead on. Lead on, good sir. The boys lead me to a classroom with a stove set up at the back, normally used for potion making. There are several pots and a collection of metal cylinders on the floor nearby. They don't have lids, and they're not the right size for any pipes I know of. What are they? There you are! Now, if you'll just hold still for a moment. Oh, a wave of green magic rolls over me. That should improve your resistance to heat and stop you from burning yourself too easily. Of course, you'll still need to be careful. Especially you, Mr. Pfeiffer.
Yes, ma'am.
You have an instruction sheet here with all the steps, including the proportions for the dyes and fragrance oils. Do you have any questions? We're cool. Alright, I'm going out for a while, but I'll be back shortly to keep an eye on things. Don't worry, I won't interfere. I might even bring my knitting. Of course you knit. She walks out, leaving me with two boys who obviously haven't told me everything. What are we doing here? Making candles. It's for the fundraiser thing. I thought so. Oh, right. Are any of these mine? Yours? Because I'm treasurer, I got to pick the design for the freshman candles. Oh, I don't know then.
What we've got here is all the same type, so it's only one class.
Ah. So she's not still mad at you about last week, then? Who, Potsdam? Nah. She was never really mad. She loves me.
If she loves you so much, why doesn't she marry you?
What? She's an old lady, you goon. She's not that old, but too old for you, I'm sure. And we shouldn't talk like this in case she comes back. Right. Candles. So how does it work? Set up the wick, melt the wax, pour it in, then cool it down.
Easy. You can cast a seal spell, right?
No.
Alright, you run the wax and Luke can do the wicks.
Sure.
Okay, the wax is set up in a double boiler. Make sure there's always water in there and keep an eye on the temperature. If the wax gets too hot, it will explode.
Explode?
That's why Potsdam heat-proofed us. Just keep an eye on it. As long as you're watching, we'll have time to catch it if it starts going wrong. When the wax chunks are melted down, mix in the oil and the color, then stir it with a wooden spoon.
Have you done this before?
No, I read the directions. It's not that hard. Once a pot is ready, you can pour it... Once a pot is ready, you can pour it into the molds.
And what are you going to do while we're working?
I get the hard part. You'll see.
Working together, Luke and I assemble and fill candle molds.
Alright, stand back. Here I go.
I can feel the magic in the air, but I'm not sure what he's doing. What is that?
Shh, hang on.
He's still casting it? Okay. This is a tougher spell than usual. A minute later, he relaxes.
There you go. You can cut off the ends now.
I look inside the mold. Not only has the wax cooled, but it's shrunk in away from the sides of the mold completely evenly.
You can't cool it all at once or it'll collapse. And if you leave it to cool on its own, it sinks full of holes, so it's tricky.
Couldn't you just shape the wax around the wick in the first place without melting it?
It wouldn't work right afterwards. It wouldn't blend right.
And so we produce a nice set of candles. None of the steps are terribly difficult, but done over and over, it is tiring. Wonderful work, ducklings! 10 merits for each of you! Sweet! Nice, I'm glad I came and did this. A job well done. Yes, quite so. Well, that was enjoyable. Cool. Hope I get to do that again when I do Donald's route. That was 10 easy merits. Got more merits making candles than I did passing my last dungeon exam. Hey, where's Ellen? She and Lena are going to that play tonight. Oh right, Medea. She asked me about that too. Lena's in Butterfly Hall, and I don't really know her, but I'm glad Ellen found someone to go with. I knew she would. On Saturday morning, I get up early and go to the staff room to collect the mail.
Cutie, there you are. Here, let me give you a hand with this. We need to get moving.
Where are we going?
To the mall for the fundraiser, silly. You did say you'd cover my shift, remember?
Right. Which shift is that again?
Well, because we're only lowly freshmen, we're supposed to do the last shifts, and all the officers have to help set up first thing in the morning, so we're going to be there all day. I mean, you are. I'm really sorry about this. It's just that I promised someone and I can't. I'll make it up to you somehow.
It's alright.
Anyway, let's get the mail out.
Thank you for helping me, Minnie. Minnie and I delivered the mail, including our own allowances, and then took a van to the mall with Professor Grabner, the other student officers, and the goods for our booth. The booth looked very festive with all the candles. It should do well. Anyway, I'm free for most of the day. I can do whatever I want as long as I don't leave. What should I do? Go to the food court. Oh dear. Any chance? Well, at least my stress decreased. As the day passes, I grow more and more bored with the mall. It's a fun place to visit, but... well, nobody lives here, but wandering around all day with nowhere to go and nothing much to do gets old. It's getting dark and cold in here. On the bright side, that makes a display of candles look that much more inviting. At last, it's time for my turn at the booth. To my surprise, Professor Grabner is standing behind the booth when I arrive. Sir? Do not worry, Miss Patootie. I am only here to supervise. I am not a salesman. No, I can't imagine that he'd be a very good one. Take your place. I will be sitting over there if you have need of me. I just realized he's still wearing that stupid hat. I like to picture these normal humans just walking by. Like, why is that guy wearing that hat? That's too funny. And only if you have need. I do not appreciate being interrupted while I am reading. Yes, sir. Don't even worry about it. I step behind the booth and look over the current supplies. Once I've taken count of what's available, I get to work, smiling at the passers-by, hoping to encourage them to check out my wares. Angela pauses by the booth. Oh, the candles. Do you want to buy one? I know we're supposed to be taking money from non-magical people. Take their money. But I don't think it's against the rules to sell to witches. She picks up one of my orange pumpkin tea lights and sniffs at it. Orange and pumpkin? How cliché. It sells. Some people have no sense of style. Well, perhaps you should lead them to it. Ha ha. She rolls her eyes at me but leaves. Burn! Sick burn on Angela. More people come by to check out the candles, and a few buy some. More after I learn to start telling everyone it's a fundraiser for a school. Well, it is. And time passes. And passes. It passes. I don't have a watch, and I'm not sure how long these shifts are supposed to be anyway. When do we get to go home? I could ask Grabby, but he said not to bother him. So I guess I'll just pass out. At last, with a great clattering of metal, the shops in the mall begin to close. Professor Grabner blinks and looks up from his book. Miss Patootie? What time is it? I don't know, sir. That face. I start to wobble and he leaps from his seat to catch me. Ah, idiot girl! Have you not sat down for all this time? No, sir. Well, I can't take you back like this. Someone would assume I'd worked you to the bone on purpose. Come along, then. After a quick detour to look at the remaining supplies and money, he leads me to a building beside the mall, which turns out to be a restaurant. I didn't know this was here. It is hidden from casual viewers. Sit. Say nothing. I will order. A few minutes later, I have a cup of something hot in front of me. What is this? Chai. Thank you. It's sweet and spicy and makes my throat burn a bit. Thanks. It shouldn't have been necessary if you had any sense. It shouldn't have been necessary if you had put your bloody book down and taken a look around once in a while, sir. I suppose I should be thankful you didn't simply lock your knees and faint. Falling face first into a table full of candles? Ouch. I've never been alone in a social situation with Grabner before. I don't really know what to say now. Yeah, do you come here often? Why not? So, do you come here often? Excuse me? Out. Away from school. To relax. My personal life is none of your concern. That's not what I meant. I mean, I'm just trying to be friendly. Don't waste your breath. Yes, sir. This is why you have no friends. Fine, no more talking then. After a while, a waiter places a small plate of bright red berries in the center of the table. Is that your dessert? They're complimentary. The staff will be displeased if you reject their hospitality. In other words, I'd better eat one. I pick one up and look at it more closely. It's shaped like a strawberry, but it's not real fruit. It's hard and shiny, like some sort of candy. Professor Grabner is already eating his, so I pop mine into my mouth. For a moment, there's just a vague sweetness as the sugar melts on my tongue. Then all of a sudden, a burst of liquid flavor. It feels energizing. Professor Grabner's face doesn't change at all, despite the sweet treat. I suppose it's too much to expect that I would cheer him up. We should go. Yes, sir. Thank you again. Oh, what a guy. Diary. Candle making. Donald, Luke, and I helped make candles for the school fundraiser and earned 10 merits. That was awesome. Ellen's outing. Ellen is going to the school play tonight. And fundraiser booth. I worked the late shifts at the mall fundraiser booth. My candles sold pretty well. I got really worn out though, so afterwards Professor Grabner bought me a warm drink. It was unusually nice of him. Oh, Grabby, how I miss thee.